Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Southern Hemisphere. David Nair on air is back again, this time to have a chat with a father and daughter duo. Just bear with me for a few minutes before I introduce the pair. My role here primarily is to ensure we could bring the best of the best in various areas of performance excellence. And that's what I've been working on for the last 18 months with 10 years. Today, we have a topic called purpose, but we're going to deep dive into purpose on relationships with dad, daughter, mom. If mom's there, in this case, mom's not there, mom's away working. So we'll only have dad and daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Prabhunath Pandey and his daughter Surbhi Pandey. Welcome aboard, guys. How are you?
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. We are really very, inspired to be here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, David, for this beautiful opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here.
I love it. I love you guys, because from the first time I met you, I was always trying to figure out what's this pair up to, what's a dad and daughter doing here. But I must admit, Prabhu came on board first. Now, why don't we just quickly deep dive into a little bit of your story, Prabhu, and then get to Surbhi's story, and then we can talk about the rest of it. So why don't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
start, Prabhu?
definitely, definitely. You see, after joining Speak to Fortune, the program of one of another mentors, I happened to figure it out, Mr. David Nair, the person sitting before me, and the way you were, responding to various questions there. It was like very interesting why this man is there. So I don't know. But when we finished that course and you just happened to start this mental resilience mastery,
Hmm,
I thought, why not join your course?
hmm,
And because this resilience word is, something which strikes very fast. There's
yeah.
something to do with the mental resilience. Let me join this. And
Hmm.
when I joined, I found so much value. I found your course or your this mastermind was structured. There was a system. And the very first week, the tools that you introduced were mind blowing.
Thank
So
you.
what happened? I used those tools. I figured out that what exactly is happening in my life, how I'm spending my time. You had that 24-hour tool. Then I created that pie chart and felt like if Surbhi can become part of this, it will be a game changer for her because irrespective of she knowing several things, irrespective of she being also part of the coach to fortune, knowing how to coach, but this kind of tools were not found anywhere else.
Hmm,
And I felt when she uses this, it will be a game changer for her. So I asked her also to come and join. And I tell you, believe me, she felt great. She was in that place where she really wanted to be.
Right.
That she
You didn't
shared
you
with
didn't force her to come, did you? You didn't say if you don't come, you got to get out of the house or something like
No,
that, did
no,
you?
no, no. You didn't force me. I didn't force me.
Oh
I
my
think I was
God,
a
really
blessing
good.
in disguise.
Please, your side of the story in relation to just a quick snippet of your journey here.
So yeah, I would say that I would say that I don't know. I came with an attitude of I don't know anything, and that's where the real transformation came in. Because if I come with the mindset that I know all of these things, then my transformation would have not been there. So
Hmm,
definitely, I was introduced about certain things, but coming to MRM and joining in this beautiful mastermind, it really impacted me in such a huge way because I remember being not in a good state of my life that particular time, and I was not joining any of the masterminds. And my dad also saw me, and he used to mention about MRM. Why don't you join? David is such a great mentor, and these tools are there; they are very effective, and this and that. So I just happened to join, and the beauty of the community, the vibe and the energy of MRM is contagious. It's like when I started applying those tools, I started feeling a lot of difference, and this journey has been impeccable. Yeah. Thank you
Fabulous.
so much for that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you both for coming through. Let's now deep dive into specifics. I really want to get the audience to look at father-daughter relationship, and we're going to be very transparent, like what we spoke in the dry run. And I, got both your permissions to do that. So now you're going to have a disclosure here. I've signed your agreement, so you're not going to sue me for it.
Deposit time limit.
Okay. So now, how did this program help you individually, Prabhu, as a dad, knowing where Surbhi was and all the issues or whatever she had? How did she reframe herself? What did you see in that journey from A to B that she was taking through?
Well, David, you know, when it started impacting me, when it started literally impacted me, when I started following some of the tools, practicing those tools, I had that kind of confidence. If that those tools are used by Surbhi, it will make a lot of difference. Now, when she joined, because see, the tools are always going to be there, but there are two things very important. Not only tools, the mentor and the technique,
Hmm.
how to use those tools, and how after these tools are introduced to individual, what exactly happens and how to go from there to the next level. So
Yes.
she when started using these tools, like for example, I will tell you that that 24 hours distribution of the day, then winding up in the night, then getting in the morning, and the best thing, let me be very straight, the best thing that happened to her was when she was taken as a leader of that group, and she started that fire to wire of the morning routine build up, so she became a change person.
Hmm.
That is what exactly was my observation.
Fabulous, fabulous. Surbi, your perspective from where you were receiving some of this, and you were trying to come out of where you were. So you were in midstream, so to speak. Now, from that, how did you step up, firstly? Secondly, how did you engulf that success?
Okay. So there have been several situations that have taken place, and the way I perceive those situations now, it's different from the way I used to do it earlier. So, for example, the beauty of NENN I saw in my father also. He was religiously following it, and I think we had shared about this earlier also when we were on the call. So I remember, okay, I'm going to share this. Don't kill me.
She can't resist, can she?
Have to say it. Yeah. So what happened was my mom was really furious. She was very angry. She was saying something or the other. And my dad was like, listen, I'm doing my NENN. I'm not getting angry. I'm doing my NENN. And my mom was like, what has happened to him? He's not reacting. He's just silent. He's like, matlab proof. Nothing is happening. No change. He's not getting angry. He's not shouting on her. He's not saying all those things which would rather create a conflict. He was managing those emotions in such a profound way. Even I was spellbound to see that. So that was like, oh my god, that was a great. Like I saw it in front of me, so it was great. And I think when I had the opportunity to be the team leader when I was selected, and taking the whole team and creating all those videos, that was a wonderful experience. I never thought that I would do it, but once I was put into that, it's like you saying that you don't know how to swim, so you just jump. So so that was the case, and I was like, oh my god, it was a different experience because I was actually enjoying it and I was not getting tired. So this was one thing, and also during my health situation, which I would definitely discuss during this whole, the discussion. I would bring that issue as well. I was very at ease during my health challenge also, because the kind of support and the kind of, the codes which were put into my mind, and the entire, you can say the belief systems about, surrender and faith, and, self love, and just having complete faith that it is going to work in the end, just kept me so confident that I was able to, you know literally be so mentally resilient that people around me were also thinking what kind of a person she is. I think
Right.
she's weird, but I think it's okay. I think that's the best thing that happened. So yeah,
No,
I
it's
love
interesting
it. I
because,
love it.
sorry, go on. Yeah, it's interesting because they would have been going through what you went through when you saw your mom, sorry, your dad being very silent with your mom, and they're wondering what's happened to this girl? Where did she come from?
Right.
Exactly. Now, how did your friends cope with this? Because you're on the same peer level,
Yeah.
so there are sometimes certain what I call crabbing mentality. How do they cope with it?
There are a lot of people. I will share you that experience when I was in that health center, and
Yeah.
when I said that, when my therapy was going on, I was going through this Ayurvedic treatment, and I told them, I am a very good patient, and they were like, "What is this girl saying?" They were mixed reactions. Even my doctor was completely amazed to see the kind of person I am, because I was saying, listen, I have complete faith in you. I know I will be healed. I have complete faith in you. How it came, this kind of dialogue, how it came, because of the conversation that we had just before I was about to get admitted. That created a huge impact, and definitely the reactions that I got from those people were, they thought that this is a strange behavior. This girl, she's going through all that, huge health problem, personal problems, and all of that, and the way she's coping up, there is something weird. There's something else. I don't know what she's doing. Whatever, like all kind of mixed reactions were there. So I think that was crazy, and I think that's the best part.
Excellent.
You should share
Excellent.
that. You should share that story. That what happened, how that particular impression got into you.
Yeah. So
Ah,
I remember. My health issue was known to all the people in the MRM. Some of them knew, and some of them even contacted me. I spoke to them, and I felt safe. I felt supported. I felt loved while being in the beautiful community. I mean, mere paas shabd kam hai. I'm less of words. If I go on and on, it can take. I can write a whole book about it. But yeah, I remember the call which happened just day before I was about to go for the admission. It was with Sumana, David, and my dad. You and yeah. So I don't know. It just got implanted into my mind to be a very good patient and to understand the power of surrender. So those words, when you said that you just have to surrender, it is completely going to work out. You don't have to go with any kind of self doubt in your mind, because the moment you put in doubt, your healing will not take place in the way it has to be. If you want to be healed completely, you have to be completely out of self doubt and have faith. You are a patient, just be good patient, because only then you can receive that energy, because you're open. So all those kind of conversations, I remember, literally I was going with that mindset only, and it helped me in a huge way. I was smiling,
excellent.
I was happy. Definitely there were times when I was crying over there because it was tough, but I had faith. I had that love that kept me going, that resilience kept me going. So I'll be forever grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you. See, many don't understand. I just come back with a little plant that I'm doing a couple of series with another person in LinkedIn, Dr. Alka. I'll be very open. You'll be able to see us there. And I talk about this. It's like you planting a flower bed. And, unless you plant beans and want beans, beans will not come out. Don't plant beans and expect carrots. So if you want certain expectation, you plant certain things, but there's a way to plant it. and a way to let it grow. And this is the trick that many people don't follow. And some of these tools you're talking about, they are terms you can go to the Oxford Dictionary, you can open it up, have a look at it. But unless, as Prabhu said, you know the knack of tapping the right nut at the right time with the right strength, it doesn't work. And that's basically what
Absolutely
you're talking about. Thank you for
right.
that.
Thank you, David. And also, the impact of the right mentor has to be important. It cannot be neglected because this cannot be taught in any book, any movie, anything. It has to be through by you are being with the right mentor and the right kind of people, because
Thank you.
that gives you a lot of support.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's move on. There's a lot more to cover. Can you share some examples? Now we're deep diving from some of the principles, some peripheral cases, specific examples of respond and react scenarios, because that is vital. Especially, I wish you had taken. You take so many videos. Why didn't you take a video of Prabhu saying quietly to his wife and just walking away? You should have taken a video of that. That would have been a bestseller, yeah.
Absolutely right. I mean, that time it didn't click me because I was stunned for like 10 seconds. I was like, somebody should have taken my reaction also. That's what I mean. I mean, I, it just clicked. Why did I take a video of this?
Yeah.
I should have taken your idea.
So what I want to do is I want to deep dive into this thing about respond and react, because many people are in that issue and that concern, and they don't know how to let go. Okay, so if you can just touch on that with your own experience from us.
See, let me share you, from where I'm coming. See, I have understood very well that every question, every situation thrown at you doesn't need your reaction to it. First thing that I understood after deep diving into all these aspects, so that I have, like it is like a knot. I'll not open it. It is fixed. Not to react in every situation. Now, if there are situations where I have to say something, then I will definitely say after measuring what I have to say, because there is going to be an effect that is caused by me. I'm the responsible for that. So what kind of effect I want, that will make me answer that, and that is afterthought. Anything afterthought is a response, it is not a reaction.
Mhm.
So that technique I have started following, that technique I have started using, irrespective of whatever is happening. I'm not, bogged down. If somebody is calling by names, I just say, okay, fine, let it be. That is the way the other person is thinking. How I have to, because I am responsible for all my actions. And here it is, all my responses. Because my response is going to create an impact. If that impact is not conducive, it may be detrimental for me as well as to the other
The other
person.
party. Yeah.
Yes.
So true.
So
So true.
that has given me more strength.
Hmm.
I will
Excellent.
be discussing about other tools later, but here what I felt, I have just given you my response to this.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, you can discuss it later, but by 30 minutes or 60 minutes of this hour, that thing gets cuts. So you can,
Many,
you
see,
ain't got unlimited time. So you got to be
many.
crisp. On
For
my next,
example, for
my next,
example, the use of sanctuary, that
huh,
tool, sanctuary. I have developed my internal and external sanctuary, both.
right.
External sanctuary, I have created a place where I sit. Many times Surbhi comes there, Papa, what are you doing? Just closing your eyes, taking rest. I said, I'm just taking rest. But in my mind, I'm just relaxing and not allowing anything to make any dent in me. Just, it is a tranquil type of feeling. And internally I have created space, like if there is situation, I will withdraw myself there, sit there in me, and then enjoy whatever is happening. Let things happen outside.
Right, right. Surbi, come back to this response and react. How has that impacted your way of living in life?
I think I've become more calm as a person. Like, I used to be super reactive. I won't say that my entire reaction has, been to zero.
Disappeared? Yeah.
Yeah, I would not say that because it's a general human tendency. We do experience a lot of emotions. I'll be very honest. But yes, to deal with those emotions and to deal with those kind of situations, that kind of ability I have, somehow I'm practicing and I'm trying to do it consistently, and I'm being aware. Like, for example, if I'm getting angry, I observe my breath.
Mm,
I become aware of the pattern it has changed. So what I do, I take a pause, take a breath, and then I respond. Sometimes I just react, but sometimes I respond. So that has definitely shifted because then I feel drained. I immediately get awareness that I'm getting drained. Why am I doing it? Is it serving any purpose? No, it's not serving any purpose. So so this is what I try to do. And as Papa said, about taking the responsibility. So that really changes a lot of things because you come out of the blame game frame. You don't blame. You take the responsibility and you think, how can I use it in a better way
yeah,
to learn from it? So that has changed. And also the concept of sanctuary. The tools of, when I experience the me time, oh my God, it charges me for the whole day. It's
good.
it's, it creates that fire.
You know, when I first got into talking about sanctuary, I think week 3 or week 4, I can't remember. A couple of messages came back to me. They came in late, so they didn't understand. And they said, David, sanctuary. Do I have to go to the zoo? What is a sanctuary about?
Exactly. I mean, I also used to think sanctuary. I think it's a zoo sanctuary or something.
Ah,
But the concept changed once you told what exactly it is. Like, it was a different experience when I heard. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
it's good. It's good. So now that we've got to that, what now is I want to check and see. See, I love doing barometer checks every so often. Every time you respond and react, you come out of the situation. Okay. The previous time it took you some time. Now, the time in which you take to come out, is that shorter? And if so, why?
It is
See, if
shorter.
it
Is
is
it
very much
shorter?
short.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is causing it? What is inside of you that's triggering that to happen?
Awareness.
Ah,
Understanding.
right. The attributes of emotional competency, basically.
First thing is
And we all
awareness.
know this. It's a matter of putting it in the right way and making this click. That's all it is. Great. Thank you for that. Now let's deep dive into the next one. Your career growth. Oh, no, no, no. Before we get discipline, I love you to talk on discipline. I love Prabhu to talk on discipline. And the audience might be wondering, what is it?
What is happening? These guys are literally chilling out and laughing and talking about all this. But I think this is
Yes.
this is fun. I'm
See,
enjoying it.
Good.
see, you know, in some areas of my life, my work, in my home, because most of the time I'm spending in home, and even my courses that I'm building. Some areas I'm disciplined, and some areas still the discipline has not, you know, gotten. So, and I'm continuously understanding that thing and bringing it that in practice, because I have an awareness that without discipline, things won't work the
Yeah.
way inside. I know that how I want that to work. So I know very well that if I don't get into that mode of disciplining my working, timing, programming, then things will not happen the way I feel. So
Mhm.
that is something really important. I'm working on that still.
But you're much more conscious of it. And now, I mean,
Yeah.
when a lot of guys know I drive you guys, I really drive you to get things out. But I can see the gap in which it comes in. It's so much more fluid. I mean, you don't worry about it. It's aram say, but you're delivering it.
Yes, yes. But I'm disciplined to in certain areas. If I
Right.
have to do, then I have to do. Sometimes you'll find that my responses are immediate.
Mm.
Sometimes it takes time because there is some research to be done,
Research to
some
be done.
thought has to be put in. So likewise, but
Mm.
there are areas where you know I sometimes feel why it's happening, but things don't, even if I want, I don't do it.
Right. Right.
Even if I want, I don't do it. I know that it is required to be done. I know that I can do it, but still I'm not doing it.
I am going to offline ask Surbhi what are the things that you're not doing that you should be doing, and then we'll make a list. And then, just like the 12 o'clock time calendar, we'll make sure you have that. So by the end of this month, you'll have it completed. End of June, I
Yes, David.
Yes.
mean. Surbhi, coming from your angle, how has discipline impacted you, and what have you really done in that area?
Some I will be very honest. Sometimes I do certain things religiously. Sometimes I just don't do. There are days on and off, kind of. But I feel that when I do consistently, I see a lot of change, lot of energy in me to be more fully optimized. I won't say busy, but I would say fully optimized. I'll be more productive. So, like for example, if I make a list of 6 things that are important to me, and if I'm unable to do, let's say, 3 of them, or maybe let's say 1 or 2 of them, now I have this mindset that it's okay, I could not do it, maybe because I was getting diverted, or maybe I was putting my energy to some other task. I can do it some other time. So I through discipline also I'm able to manage my energy well. So that
Right.
is changed. Earlier I used to get furious. Earlier I used to be like, oh shit, this is not done. What am I doing? Why am I doing? All those kinds of things. But yeah, every single day I'm just making a note and I'm keeping a journal, which is like, self reflection. So discipline of doing that self reflection has made me more productive and made me more aware about, how things are going ahead.
Right. And you see, many don't realize, that term, oh, where am I going? That spiral pulls you down. And many
Like a
don't
rabbit hole.
ah, a reverse cycle. And when it comes down, for you to come out of the tunnel is going to be so hard. But when you're aware of it, you put the brakes.
Yeah.
And that's the power of this. Hmm?
I think it's about
Excellent.
habits. It's about
Exactly.
consistently doing those habits, and then you get so tuned to it, then it's effortless.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing yoga, meditation, pranayama, my entire day is going wonderful. I'm doing my incantations and all of that. So I have realized what happens when I'm doing these things. I observe myself for a week, and when I'm not doing it, how my entire state is. So there's a lot of difference,
Yes.
huge difference.
Very, very true. Very true. Let's go into now that you have come into this area, we are wallowing in this MRM. We've got some basics done. All of a sudden, this thing was thrown at you to write a chapter. How did you journey through that writing of the chapter called Purpose?
See, David, when I was doing that at STF, there I was supposed to write a book,
Ah,
but the book was also getting delayed there, irrespective of the fact that I was author and editor of one of the books which was prescribed in way back 1993 in Bombay University academics in BCom, courses. So the publisher asked me to create the book, and I helped as an editor and also as an author to create the book, and that took almost around 4 5 months. Here, after spending almost around 8 9 months, even a year, I was not in position to complete the book. I don't know. The focus was not there. However, when this chapter, writing a chapter, that parts just begin, even my book, which was pending, the patience, the transformation tool in the wheel of life, it completed. Then I was able to even write this chapter because I felt connected to this thing. I
Mm.
felt that yes, this is something which people should know,
Yeah.
that how I had derived my purpose. And if I'm writing a chapter on this, they definitely, it is going to make difference in people's life. Because see, I'm part of Freemasonry also, where
Yes.
we have got three tenets, brotherly love, truth, and relief. The relief is like going out to the people, contributing in their life. And here, with writing one chapter can be a big contributor.
Mm. So
So
true.
I, as an author, I could do it. And after that, even Surbhi was able to do her chapter. And then we did the work on the book, and the whole team. That time, in the first version, there were 30 authors. In the second version of the book, there was 40. And it was another great experience. Then I took the mantle of editor, because I when you entrusted this particular responsibility to me, I think I delivered the things in the right time,
Very
because
well.
I had a past experience of doing it. Then I
Yeah.
developed the team and did it all.
Yep, I know. You did it in a really short time. Not only that, the work, in which you did the editing of it was more important. How it was done methodically, and therefore the delivery was there. And everyone that worked with you was great. Also, they enjoyed it.
Arre, my
That's the whole thing.
see, I will always feel great about the team.
Mm,
They contributed immensely
mm.
in time. Whatever way I asked, they did it. They delivered it to me, because I had given portion of it. Then I did the whole, all. I have to sit to do all the chapters.
Yeah, yeah. See,
So it was amazing. Teamwork
yeah,
was amazing. The entire build up was amazing. Even those people, let me tell you, those people who are not at the part of this particular team, they have also given great contribution in the past.
yes, very much so.
Yeah.
That's so true because many don't understand. They think building of team is so easy and you can do this and that very simply. You can work with team, which is what most people are encouraged to do. But the art of working through teams to deliver the project is a different thing. And that
That's the key.
is a skill that you need to study. Many don't understand that. Okay, I'm working with my team, I'm working with my team. Yeah. But unless you know how to work through the team to get the right things out of them and at the same time deliver it the way you want it delivered for the outcome, which is a different kettle of fish. Great, great job.
It is more of a responsibility
Huh.
than the leadership.
Yes. So true. And the art of delivering that is through the team that you're taking that responsibility, passing out to them, which is what I say, pass the baton. You pass the baton on to them and then let them grow up. And you'll see you build people that way. Fabulous
Yeah.
work. Survi, what about your perspective of this coming in through and getting the first chapter?
Yeah, I think I will again say about surrender. Why the entire team is going together, doing the entire work of writing the book and the chapters and everything, because we all have complete faith in you, David, as our mentor. We surrender. That is why we were able to do the entire task, all the team that was made, and how each and every chapter was taken through, and how it was executed. It is not just that you write a chapter and you just give it. The entire editing and the rereading and the processing and the book designing, it was a different experience. I mean, I never ever thought that I would you know I would be able to design the cover of the first book if we wouldn't have been working together. I mean, it's the
Right.
contribution of each and every person of our MRM that led to this, creating a history that in the shortest span of time, how we were able to do. So
Yeah.
I remember writing my first book about confidence and then writing the book about purpose, which is Grail, Pick Your Life Right with Purpose. And I remembered how I got into it. And there's one incident that, made me realize where I was in such a phase of my life where I literally had no purpose of my life and how I bounced back. So why I'm doing it? Because if there is somebody who is in the lowest phase, and if that person can read through it, if that person is going through that experience, and if that person can be impacted through that thing, oh my God,
Hmm.
it has served it. It's
Yeah.
about service. So the whole experience of writing the chapter and going through the grind and doing the whole thing, it's beautiful. I mean, it's like you'll always remember this journey. It's like a journey.
Exactly.
It's
And
again,
and
it's
you
also
took the
like
words of my
discovering
mouth.
yourself.
I'm sorry,
Discovering
say that
yourself.
again.
It's also like discovering yourself again.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's where you, as I say, you tighten the nuts and bolts, areas that you're weak on. Okay, I got to do something here to improve myself if I want to do this.
Also,
And also, as you took the words out of my mouth, Surbhi, the journey is great. You're enjoying it, and you're also learning the art of anchoring on that. So for future references, you can step up from there to the next level.
absolutely right, David. And also, one more thing, when I wrote the chapter, I shared it with my dad, and then he helped me in, rephrasing certain things and changing certain things and modifying it. Then I reread it, and then again I did some changes. So I was engaged into it. I was completely involved into it, and I think we as a team did a did a really great job. And if those chapters can help somebody
Yes.
really discover the purpose, because people are just going blind after they are just chasing dreams which they don't even know why they are doing what they are doing. So
Correct.
this book can literally help them have a direction. And apart from that, we are having this whole mastermind,
Community.
possibility for them. So
Yes.
it's incredible. It has never ever happened in the history.
Yeah. So
So
true. So true. And many don't realize that. We're not promoting MRM here for people to join. If you want
sure,
to, yes, you are, but there is a screening process. But the key element to understand is the way you nurture this team. We have a fantastic team, and they are got skilled in most areas and still growing. So imagine this particular batch where it's going to be in 5 to 10 years from now. The amount of collaboration that's going to take place, which is already being put seeded for us to look at for downstream. 3 years from now, how parties are going to collaborate and start doing programs, and that is the power of what we first put together. Now, working on that, let's take it up to the next level. The books are there, the chapters are there. Surabhi and Prabhu are working together, writing and rewriting the book. I would like you to share one or two experiences or incidents where and then you went back and corrected it. You know what I mean by
I
that?
remember. I
So
can share it.
I
they,
know it happened, so I want
I
you to share.
they,
remember it. Then
David,
I
there
was like,
Surbhi
just
will
fine.
definitely bring him
No,
some
no, no, no,
insight.
Prabhu. Let Surabhi talk. You can talk
Yes,
later.
yes, 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 yes.
So I will
Yeah.
share in a very short way. So what happened was, as I was told to make the book cover and all of that, and we were sitting in the morning, and all of people, all the authors were, thinking about, that this design would look fine, this and that. They were all just grilling, and I was sleepy also, but still I was just, going on and on. And then finally, when we decided that this is the design that we are going ahead with, after that, when you asked me to do the spine, I was like, what is spine? Okay. So I'm like, honestly, because the first book that I had written, it is just the Kindle version of it. It's not the paperback. I have to still work on the paperback. So then when I got to know spine, what is the spine of the book? Then I googled it, and my dad told me it is the, this part of the book,
Edge.
this part.
Yeah.
And I was like, this also has to be made. How do you make it? What is the size? I don't know how to do it. So I was looking on Google, watching YouTube videos, and doing all of those things. And then I was like, this is a task I've never ever done. I was thinking that, if I can do this book cover, I can make cover for so many people. It's so easy. But no, it's a huge thing to go through the line. So I found the size, I asked about the size, and then I started doing it. And there was a point when I was completely frustrated. I'll be very honest. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it because I'm unable to make it. It's not coming only. I don't know what to do, how it's gonna be. Like I was like, I said I need a break now. I will do it some other time. I cannot do it right now. Please ask somebody else to do. And then my dad tried to calm me down. And then I was I took my time. And then I don't know, within a few minutes, again, when I sat on making the spine, I was able to. I was like, it's done. The spine has been done. Oh my god, I couldn't believe, and I think that was the biggest breakthrough because I am coming from an acting and that direction field where you don't have to sit in front of the laptop and do all the book design and take coaching sessions and all of that. Coming from that field and doing something which is completely different, it was a, it was like I can do this also.
Hmm.
Never ever imagine.
Yeah.
I'll be grateful because if that pain would have not been into it, then the project would not have taken place. So I think that pain taught me a lot. That
Right.
time through while making it and designing and doing the brainstorm, and I really appreciate that I was not doing all alone. The support was there of the community when we were working on the back cover of it. All of the like all of us were sitting and we were just trying to make that anchor thing, and we were trying to design and putting the things into place. And then after that also, when I and Rajiv ji sat for the cover thing, there were certain things that had to be done by someone else also. They also took place. That also took place. So I think it was incredible. So many things I
You
got to
see,
learn about myself in that process, thanks to you.
no, that's fine. That's my pleasure. But the point I want to deep dive and for the audience to realize, this is what we're talking about purpose. This is not what goals and dreams are. You see that these guys who are doing it voluntary at 1 and 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay. Now, you tell me out there in the workforce, how many of you, even if you are paid, would want to do something like that? What is triggering them to do it? Coupled with that, why are they doing it? They're not making any money out of it. Even when they write the book, they're not getting one paisa. All of the money is going to a charity. So why are they doing it? It's called purpose. This magic word is called purpose. And the key element that both Prabhu and Surbhi are disclosing is, I remember one day, you guys were working in the power room, and then I looked around and there wasn't anyone to be seen. But then later on, I found out the three of you were in another place dancing. They were dancing to get a break so they can come back and finish the task.
Yes.
Now, you tell me, hello, audience out there, you tell me. That is what we call purpose. Come and see how we play the game of life with purpose. Good on you guys. Now, let me move on to the next part. In all of this, I'm going to be very precise here. In all of this that you're doing and contributing to the Grail book, working as a team, there would have been frustrating moments, but you were able to cope with the frustration. Now, on reflection, you say, my God, I never knew I could come this far. What are you going to do from here to the next level?
Well, David, let me tell you, mental resilience, mastery has created a sort of environment in us. Like, let life throw any kind of challenge at us, we know how to handle it. That is precisely why this knowing purpose, being part of MRM, be part of F2W is helping. This is actually happening.
Mm.
But life is not going to stop throwing challenges to us. There will be stress, there will be anxiety, there will be conflicts, difference of opinions, but how we take it, that is going to be the key. And here,
Yes.
what your entire process is doing. That is
Fabulous.
that is that is that is my takeaway always.
Right. Your perspective, Surbhi?
Yeah. So, if I were to say that, my dad sitting for editing the book for the whole day, doing it religiously without any break, it's definitely purpose. It's definitely an experience that we are having. It's definitely taking us to a next level. We are learning certain things which are helping us to grow, and it takes us to the direction towards contribution and serving the people. So in this whole process, we all are becoming a very strong character. We all are becoming that kind of person which we would have never ever imagined. And if we can change our life, we can transform our life while experiencing all this, then definitely if we go out in the public and with the intention of just to serve, it can create a massive difference. This is what I feel. I think it's on the larger scale, I would say it's about contribution.
Yeah. And that's the power that's being implanted. And when just picture this, huh? We in the last 8 months or 10 months, I should say, have come through, and there's about 50 people in the group that is this way thinking. And by the time the end of the year comes, you have 250 people that will be thinking this way. And by the end of 5 years, you'll have at least 2,000, 5,000 people that will be thinking this way. And what a drop in the ocean of change that would impact people, communities, schools, and organizations. And that's the power in which we are now driving this. And it's not me driving it just because I'm the founder of MRM. No, it's each one of you. It's already in your DNA. You have imbibed it. And that's the skill that you're going to now pass on to others, which is a wonderful, wonderful, amazing task that you've done and doing and will do. So,
Thank you so
salute
much.
you.
I think it's more or less it's not just about those goals. It's about that
No,
purpose.
yeah,
Purpose is something that can heal someone's illness to such a level that that person is ready to create an impact.
mm,
Purpose is that powerful. When we discover the purpose of our life, we become a very different person. The way we think, the way we behave, the way we eat, the way we talk, the way we perceive, it changes. And also when we are surrounded by like-minded people and under your
like-minded.
mentorship, being a part of the MRM. So
Yeah. And that's good that you brought that about illness, because one of the things that Alka and I are focusing on is the community is growing older, whether it's in India or any other country, it's getting older. And particularly in India, what's been happening was our parents used to put a lot of money in us, which means they focused on our education, although the world thought we had a poor country. But these parents today are in their 90s, 80s, and 90s. And some of them are very lonely because their children who are educated are already on a different plateau, whether they're working as a barrister or lawyer or accountant, whatever, or working abroad. Mom and dad and grandparents are at home sucking their thumb in loneliness. Loneliness generates a lot of sickness, depression, the first key element. The second key element, arthritis, dementia, all of those things that will come through. Now, what do you think is the best cure for it? It's been scientifically proven. If you know and if you have a purpose, you will ensure you will not put all your eggs on one area of the four quadrants of life. You will spread it. And therefore, because you're spreading it in all the four areas, you have about 6 stars, which is what you guys are practicing. And therefore, they will also have a track to run on parallel to the mainstream income. So when they are old, they're not going to feel lonely because they'll have a passive opportunity. Like Prabhu, now you have your interest with the Masonic Lodge. Like using you as an example, I use my father-in-law. He's 92. He's climbing roofs and he's replacing rooftops. Okay? He's agile. He loves using his hands. He does furniture work. He does dancing twice a week. He goes to the Masonic Lodge once a week. Now, you tell me, he's still involved with Rotary. At 92, the guy will go to 125, yeah?
Oh my
See,
God, this is so inspiring.
David, let me tell you,
Wow.
I'm seeing in my Freemasonry,
Huh,
there are guys above 80, 85, 90. They
right.
are regular visitors there. They are regular contributors there.
Yeah,
But you know what you have just touched? I would like to add one very important word to it. And that is, if people want to really feel great, they should feel gratitude about whatever they are
doing.
literally getting every
Yeah.
day. Gratitude towards everybody, towards everything will make their mind, heart, soul absolutely transform.
You see, I love it that you've touched that because many don't understand this. Sorry, what were you saying, Survi?
Gratitude is magical.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if many understand this. Let me just relate another illustration here. Most of us have 2 or 3 meals a day, except for those that do intermittent fasting, which one person in this platform is doing that. We'll park him aside. But average people will have 3 meals a day. Now you don't stop and think. I just had Italy. I just had dosa. I have to pull this digestive juice to go into my tummy to digest it. The body system automatically generates it. So there are chemicals in our system, enzymes in our system that are generated. You know something? When you are in certain states, there are chemicals, emotional chemicals that are released, and it is called
Yes,
dose. The
yes,
dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin levels.
yes,
Those are
yes,
released. One of the key chemicals that comes out when you do this gratitude, oxytocin, is actually released,
oxytocin.
and you
Yes,
will then get this huge influx, and all of a sudden you feel great.
And
You
I
want
think
to make it
serotonin
too.
also.
Hi?
De-
Sorry?
Serotonin also. Serotonin also.
Serotonin, yeah, and serotonin also. Now, with those chemicals that are coming through, guess what happens to you? You're not going to sit where you are. You're going to step up.
step
And
up.
Joyful.
that's the power
See,
of it.
See, David, just check with the doctors if anybody found deficient of this kind of chemicals that is freely given by Almighty. The cost of one ampoule is in several thousands.
Hmm. Very
And
much
it
so.
is like if you just smile, just a hug, if you just express gratitude, it is automatically released.
Yeah, it is so true. It's so true. Many don't understand this. And that's why they're, excuse me for using this word, they're bitching around. This has happened to me, this happened. And when we
Complain
continue,
mode. They are in
sorry?
a complaint mode. They are just in a
Huh.
complaint mode. So until and unless they focus, like if they keep that complaint aside and if they focus on the gratitude, it's like energy. Wherever you focus, your energy flows into that direction.
Exactly.
It's a transformation when they start looking life.
Exactly. Now that brings us to the apex of I'm calling it Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We want to talk a little bit about your self-actualization. When you get up to this top, we talked about gratitude, this euphoric moment of, you're saying, okay, my purpose is getting me there. I'm looking all good. I'm smelling all good, but there is still some pain. But how do we actually combat that pain and at the same time focus our mind on the purpose and be constantly self-actualized?
See, that journey, that particular pyramid, you know, uh, where, when, what, then moves to how, then moves to who, then who else, and then above who else is your actualization. Who is
Exactly.
your image, self image? Then all those parameters, all those attributes that you really and if you understand, it will make a lot of difference to get to the purpose. So I see, David, I have one small poem that I have
Please.
written down. I'll just like to share my,
Please do that.
yeah. It is like it is on purposeful living.
Hmm.
It is like plan your day with purpose, live your day with purpose, plan your day with purpose from start to end. Let your intentions guide you around every bend. For a day without purpose is a day wasted in vain. Let your purpose be the driving pep, creating a vision for what you want to achieve. Every decision and action, let them amount to progress towards your vision goal. Let every step forward help you grow, live your day with purpose every single moment. This is a small poem that I wrote on purposeful living.
Fantastic. And I love it because I know I've read it. So I'm saying I love it as though I've not read it. But it is fantastic that you thought about it and actually contributed it to the team and now to the world to hear this purpose point. And most don't realize when you have that in your heart, that's when this whole thing explodes. And many don't realize this term success because success without a purpose, without contribution, is not success.
So I have completed the book completely on poems. Almost around 30 poems are there. I dream purpose. It is the title of the book is I dream purpose. The
Excellent.
small,
Excellent.
small, short poet.
Now, I'm going to put you at a spot. When is that going to be published? You're going to publicly announce now, and we're going to make sure it happens. That's my
Awesome.
challenge.
Loved it. Loved what you said, David.
Only way.
Book
I don't
is
believe I've done this. I've done this. No, 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 no. That's Aram say word. I want to know. Give you a challenge. Tell me when.
well before 5th of May.
Before the 5th of May. Okay. Before the launch of Purpose. Wow.
Yes, my book is going to be published, and second book is also in the pipeline, and
That's good.
both are driven, both are purpose, driving purpose.
Fabulous. I love it. Now we can attach that as a second book coming through and to Prabhunath. Excellent. Great job, pal. Very good job.
Yeah.
Good. Surbhi, as we come down to a close, do you want to give us a quick statement of how the community can just help, be helped in your journey, things that they can look at and reflect upon and own it?
David, can you please come again?
Okay. As a close for the community, just sum up very quickly some of the key things that you have got from it for them to now emulate your process so they can come up in their life.
Sure. So I feel that, I will share one experience in a very short way. There was a point in my life where I was going through some kind of panic attack, and somebody told me that, I should see some kind of counselor or some therapist or something like that. And I was not ready to it. I was not in that frame of mind even to accept that I can take help from somebody. Now I realize that the power of right guidance can literally impact you in such a huge way. It can take you from here to here. It's important to be under the right mentors, under the right kind of community, having the discipline, having the faith, having the complete surrender, and practicing everything on a daily basis in a consistent way, and looking your life, living your purpose every single day can hugely impact. So it's about, that's the reason why we all sat together, worked on the book, and that book, if anybody is getting that book, that person will also have the opportunity to be a part of the community by joining the Fire to Wire Club and attending the MRM Masterminds, which has never ever happened in the history. There will be authors who will write the book gets published, but this particular platform is giving the people an opportunity to be a part of the community by getting the book. So it's like it's a complete contribution and from the heart. It has that kind of pure intention. So guys, get this book and come to MRM. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your words and thank you. And yourself, Prabhu, in closing, a couple of points on it.
See, again, practicing gratitude every day will make all the difference in your life. So do practice gratitude. Come to MRM if you get an opportunity to understand how me time, sanctuary, NENN, this kind of words can make difference in your life. I'm not
Any
going to
NS can
elaborate
make a lot of
now.
difference.
I'm
Sorry to
not going
interrupt.
to elaborate now. It is only when you come there you'll find it. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, both of you, Mom and sorry, Prabhu and Surbhi. Thank you so much, Dad and daughter. And at the same time, truly appreciate you spending time. I know we went through a dry run, guys. We don't put anyone on the platform without going through a drill session. So that's even make sure excellence is there for you as audience. I truly appreciate both of you taking time off from your busy schedule to be here and share your experience to the community. Thank you so much, and God
I'm
bless you.
also thankful, David. I'm also thankful for all the audience to
Yeah,
be, to come and witness our dialogues. So thank you so much, each and every one of you.
yeah.
Thank you so much, and
I
thank you,
would
Because
also
David.
like
You,
to say
thank
thank
you,
you.
10 News. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, 10 News. Thank you, David. It's not about our busy schedule, it's about you giving us this opportunity. So, thank you
thank
so
you.
much from the
Appreciate
deep
it. Have a good
heart.
night. And for me, it's a good morning. So we'll catch up.
Yeah,
Okay.
time difference.
Ciao. Bye.